All right, it's Tron time, baby. I'm saying for the last time because the Tronology is dead. Fan of Jared Leto is probably flying the flags at half-mast today because I have some bad news for you about Tron Aries. It's coming in well below expectations, and it's not gonna be a question of if it loses money in the long run, it's how much money is it going to lose? I'm here to give you the numbers. Let's begin. Tron came out over 40 years ago, so obviously we've had a lot of movies in between. There's the original Tron, there's Tron Legacy, there's the new one, and that's it. There was a little TV animated thing too, but 3 movies in the course of 40 some years. Now, I'm all for taking your time with the movie franchise, getting the spices just right, and then you can release it to the world. Doesn't seem to be what they do with these Tron movies, though. I swear, every generation, a new Disney exec gets in charge, and they're like, all right, what the hell do we have? What do we got here? We got we live action Princess and the Frog. We done that one. We done 101 Dalmatians thing yet? What do we got? Oh, what, Tron? Anybody know what Tron is? Is Tron a thing? You, old timer with the broom, have you ever heard of Tron before? Tron? Now that's a name I haven't heard in quite some time. Can we make money off of it? How well did Legacy do? Not great? Okay, perfect. Let's do another one and spend more money on it. And this time, we're gonna make sure to lose a bunch because we're gonna get the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jared motherfucking Leto. And then the janitor starts to get concerned. Okay, now let's calm down. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking of taking that Jared Leto husk and burying him over at that Disney backlot cemetery. You're gonna want to bring him back as Tron Aries. I know you're thinking of doing that, sir, but let me tell you, sometimes dead is better. But they did not heed the call of the old janitor, and they took those bones of Jared Leto, whose remains were found at the crash site of Morbius, another film that bombed terribly bad, and they buried them behind the House of Mouse, and we get ourselves a brand new Ares rising from the ashes. One with a budget that reportedly blew up to $220 million. In comparison, Tron Legacy had a budget of $170 million, and it ended its run at $400 million. So it barely eked out profit, because as I have reminded folks time and time again here, a movie has to make doubly, sometimes 2.5 back its budget in order to get profitability. So a $200 million budget with the Disney marketing campaign that gets put into these things, which probably adds another 50, 60 million on top, then you have the theater's cut. I would imagine Tron Aries would need to make around $600 million to be sustainable. I mean, that's probably in the purview of Aries, right? Wrong! Tron Legacy, again, sniffed around 400 million. One would think that maybe Aries could do numbers similar. That person's a fucking idiot. The final projected tally for Tron Aries finishing its run in theaters is $160 million. It's not even gonna get to the money it put in. Reports are saying that this film could lose upwards of $132 million. I think there are several reasons for this. Number one, Tron is not the most popular franchise out there. The original Tron only grossed $33 million off of a scant $17 million budget, far ahead of its time, of course, doing a lot of wackadoo things that people haven't seen before. But Disney's kind of like the chick from Mean Girls who always tries to make fetch a thing. They really want Tron to succeed, so every decade or two, they go back to the grid and try to muster up some excitement. They even made a damn roller coaster based more on the aesthetics of Tron Legacy, which is smart. I love Legacy. It's a solid film. Another thing going against it is Jared Leto is kind of box office poison these days. His last 3 films were The Haunted Mansion, which I didn't actually know he was in, Morbius, and The House of Gucci, which I also didn't know he was in. That one, to be fair, did decent numbers, but still, it didn't make a ton of money based on the price tag. He also holds the achievement for being easily the worst Joker ever put on film. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad. Lastly, there's word of mouth by both critics and audiences. Currently, it's sitting at 53% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, with a much higher 86% audience favorability. I talked to a few buddies who really enjoyed it from a visual standpoint. They thought it was a fun ride, and they really enjoyed the Memba berries. They like the nostalgia. They eat that shit up. Yum, 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 yum. I remember that from the original. The old grid is there. Yay! I'm over it. But who gives a shit what I think? If people are having a good time, good for them. The numbers just are not adding up though, so clearly not enough folks are recommending it to their friends. And why would they? Tron was always targeting kind of a nerdy, hardcore fan base who were into computers and wanted to see those video games and whatnot brought to the big screen. People inside of the machine sort of a situation. They took that, they blew up the budget, they made it a huge spectacle with the sequel, and then they kind of carried that on, but also didn't at all, because Tron Aries completely removes everything the second film set up, outside of a couple half-ass references for good measure. So if you love the sequel, you're completely alienated with the third. If you love the first movie, didn't really care much for the sequel, then you might be more at home. But I also don't even know how you're more at home here either, because this is another one of those Terminator Dark Fate situations where they kind of redo a lot of things with new characters. Like, oh, remember the old timers? We'll throw them in the background, give them something to do. But this is focused on new protagonists doing the same things that we saw before, but they're new, so it's different. The other thing that really kind of puzzled me is the Tron movie has no Tron in it. That's like going out to see the new James Bond movie and it's all about M and features 007. Make it make sense. I also think, and this is to a much less degree, that Disney has lost a lot of good faith with moviegoers. Yes, they're still gonna pull in a good chunk of soccer moms that wanna relive Lilo and Stitch in live action, and they're gonna make a ton of money on Moana 2 and anything that has a Disney princess in it. However, for us nerdy dads out there, they completely dropped the ball and screwed us over in two major ways. Number one, Star Wars. What a fucking disaster. Purchasing that from Lucas, getting us started with The Force Awakens, and then shitting the bed with pretty much everything since, occasionally dropping a Rogue One that makes us smile for a second, and then ruining it with some other dumbass TV series like Mandalorian Season 3 or The Book of Boba Shit. The second huge fuck up was purchasing Fox and basically ruining every franchise they have touched so far. That Alien TV series was embarrassing. I don't know how people were pretending they enjoyed that, but dear gods. And I think most came around to my way of thinking by the time that miserable finale hit. I'm really hoping Predator Badlands is badass. We'll see. But yeah, a lot of the nerdy guys probably didn't even give Tron Aries the time of day because they're so burnt by Disney. Now, there you have it though. Tron Aries not hitting the numbers Disney probably wanted it to. I don't honestly know what they were thinking coming out with this film and the decisions they made around it, but there you have it, my thoughts on the movie. Let me know if you saw it down below. Think of subbing to the show, Adam Does Movies, on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. I post movie reviews, commentary, movie news every week. Would love to have you stick around. All right, baby, it's Tron time. Never again. Oh, wow, you're still here. Well, since I have you, maybe think about jumping by the old merch store, Adam Does Movies, and pick up one of these Adam Does Movies Halloween tees. It's got Jason on the cover there on the logo, a little Friday the 13th inspiration in time for the holidays. On top of that, maybe think about becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies to really help support this one-man band. And that way I can afford to actually put out some candy this year for the trick-or-treaters and not just an empty pumpkin with a sign that says take one only. Implying that some fat little crap took all of them and left right away. Okay, that's all I got. Take care.